Hello everyone, Marine here. I'm so happy to be back for a new Learn Fun video. Back with this box card, we're going to create a busy scene with lots of cute images, and also we're going to add a little twist to make an underwater viewing gallery. But first, let's see which stamp and die sets I'm going to use. We have Rub-a-Dub-Dub Flip Flop and Rub-a-Dub-Dub. You Are Sublime for a seaweed, Dad and Me for the hat and small fish, Mermaid for You for the rock, and Ocean Shelfie for some smaller rocks, Swan Soiree for the grass sprigs, cattails and flower, Totally Awesome for more cattails, flowers, tree trunk and fly, Very Happy Holidays for the fishing pole, Let's Play for You Make Life Fun. We also have the scalloped box card pop-up die set. I used the smallest die from the large stitched rectangle stackable die set to create the opening in the box card, and the second die from the small stitched rectangle stackable die set to make the panel for my message at the back of the box. We have a simple stitched wavy border die and the grassy border die. I picked this banner die from the Flippin' Awesome die set, and I will make the word Dad using the Henry's ABCs die set. So I stamped and I cut my images first. I won't use all of them, but this is how I work when I make busy cards. I always stamp more images that I'm going to need because I like to have the choice of using this image here or that image there. And the images I don't use, I always keep them in case I want to use them on another project. So as you can see, I started with the ducks. I already knew that there would be lots of khaki green shades with the box itself and with the cattails and the grass sprigs. So I'm using yellow shades to color the ducks. This way they will all pop in the scene. Now I'm going to work on the box card. I cut 2 panels out of a paper from the textured dot bright paper pack. And I want to keep the back of the box only, so on this first panel I'm cutting both flaps, and on the second panel I'm cutting the smaller one only, and the part with the remaining flap will be the back of the box. Next, I'm just going to fold the different score lines on both pieces, and as always I'm using my bone folder to get a nice and crisp fold. And now I'm going to cut the opening. To do so, I'm using the smallest die from the large stitched rectangle stackable die set. And to make sure that I will have enough room below the opening for my sentiment, I'm just using the banner die as a guide to cut the window at the right height. And here we go, but the tab on the panel on the left is peeking a teeny tiny bit inside the opening. So I'm just going to cut a hair of that tab, and next I'm going to decorate those panels. I cut a white rectangle. I also cut 2 squares out of a flower market pattern paper, as well as a rectangle out of an Into the Woods pattern paper. First, the small squares to decorate the sides. Next, the white rectangle that goes at the back of the box to write my message on. And finally, the small rectangle that goes on the other side on the top section. And this is how it will look. Next, off screen I cut 6 insert pieces. These will be hidden so the color doesn't matter. I added double-sided tape on the tabs, and I also folded those tabs. And now I'm going to stick them on that part of the big panel. I'm just going to line them all up next to each other. I'm attaching the first one next to the tab on the left, but not directly against the tab. I'm just leaving a small space, about 1/4 of an inch. And also I make sure to align the top of the insert piece with the edge of the panel. And next I'm going to stick 4 more insert pieces. This time I'm attaching one on the right side, right up against the score line. And then I will stick the others, always making sure to line the pieces up. So my insert pieces are all lined up next to each other. I'm just going to add one more that goes below the one on the front. I'm going to use a longer wavy border on that part of the box, so adding this extra insert piece will give more stability to the wavy border. Next, to decorate those insert pieces, I cut several borders out of Watercolor Wishes pattern papers. We have a grassy border and some wavy borders. They are 3 1/4 inches wide, and as I was saying, the one that goes on the front is longer than the others. So I'm starting from the last insert piece at the back. The grass border goes on that one, and on the other insert pieces I'm going to stick the wavy borders. So next I'm just going to trim that wavy border at the bottom. Off screen I added double-sided tape on the tabs of both panels. And now I'm going to join those two elements. I peel the backing paper of the window panel and flip it over on my glass surface. I place both elements next to each other and line them up on my grid. And I fold down the window panel tab to stick it to the big panel. Now I can fold each insert piece back on the right. Remove all the backing papers. Once again, I make sure that everything is aligned. So I can fold the left panel to stick it to those tabs. I press firmly to connect everything, and our cute little scene is finally coming together very nicely. And I'm not attaching the last tab yet, because I need this part to be open to be able to stick some images under the water. And speaking of sticking images, let's move on to my favorite part of the process. Let's attach all the images we colored earlier, and I'm using 3mm glue dots to stick everything. So now let's watch this cute scene come to life. So now I don't need to stick more images on the front, so I can close and seal the box, but I still want to add a bunch of flies. And to stick them, to give the illusion of flies in the air, I'm using thin strips of acetate. I'm adding a glue dot at one end of the strip, and I attach a fly on that glue dot. And then, once I know where I want the fly in the scene, I use a glue dot again to stick the acetate strip inside the box. Now some final details. I cut some Henry's ABC's letters to make the word Dad. I also white heat embossed my sentiment on a black licorice banner. And after I finished sticking the images, I was looking at the card and thought that it was missing something on the front. To me, it needed an extra something to make the underwater viewing gallery pop. So I cut a white frame to draw more attention to this cute underwater scene. And this frame also calls to mind the white on the rectangle in the background. So I'm attaching all those elements, the letters on the back panel, the frame on the front, and finally the banner below the frame. And that's it, our little scene is done. I totally love it, love how this underwater viewing gallery turned out. I hope you like it too, and I hope that you will give this technique a try. Thank you so much for stopping by, and see you soon in the next video. Have an amazing day. Bye!